Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to pick my March TBR. I have already read several books in March because I'm doing this really late. Because I'm doing this a little bit later, I might just, if one of the prompts matches one of the books that I already read for the month of March, I might just go with that. Just because life's been a little bit crazy, and because of that I am a little bit slow getting all of this out, but I have still been reading, so I just wanted them to still count. If that's cheating, you guys can just let me know in the comments. Yeah, I feel like that makes the most sense since we're already like a couple of weeks into March. With that being said, I am going to pick 6 prompts out of my TBR jar. It's really cute, isn't it? And I'm going to allow myself some freedom with that, so I can kind of substitute books as I'm going because I am a mood reader. And so because I'm a mood reader, if I try to force myself to read a book that I am not in the mood for, that tends to put me into a slump. And I can't really afford to be in a slump right now because I want to read 100 books by the end of the year. And I'm a little bit behind on how many books I should be reading a month for that. I'm going to try my best to just like pick swaps, and I did this last month as well, which you'll see in my February wrap-up video, which is coming. I'm gonna just do like a swap if I need to, of like, oh, this book fits the prompt, but I don't want to read the book that I actually picked. I'm not feeling it. I'm in the mood for this other book that does fit the prompt, then I'm gonna just read that one. That way I'm still like doing the prompt, but I'm not like forcing myself to read something I'm not in the mood for and then putting myself in a book slump. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna reach on in here and grab a book, or prompt, not a book. That's very silly. Okay. Ooh, okay, a book published last year. Let me see. What do I have that are like new books? Okay, Heartless Hunter, I think, was published last year. Yes, okay, Heartless Hunter was published last year. I don't see anything else on here that I think was published last year. I don't think The Unmaking of June Farrow was published last year. I think this was 2023. Yes, this was 2023, so that one doesn't work. I'm looking at my Kindle app right now on my iPad. I think that this is the only one that I have that was published last year that is on my TBR. So, Heartless Hunter, book number 1. So, Heartless Hunter by, I think it's Kristen Sorelli. Ciccarelli. I don't know. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering her name. This is part of the Crimson Moth series. This is book 1. And the next book in this series just came out like last month, called Rebel Witch. This book is basically an enemies to lovers. It's about a witch who is a witch hunter, and then also the witch hunter who is hunting her. So it's a little bit confusing. I've heard a lot of good things about this book. I am really cautious with books that are about witches because sometimes they're a little bit too realistic for my liking, like that. I'm just careful. I'm careful about that. But I have heard a lot of good things about this book, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try. Worst comes to worst, I just DNF it. But I have heard that this is a really good story. Yeah, with that being said, I think book number 1 is The Heartless Hunter. Book number 2. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. Book number 2. A book that you've had more than a year. So, let me see. I've had An Ember in the Ashes for like 4 years now by Saba Tahir, and I have heard a lot of good things about this series. This is like a fantasy series, I believe. I've heard a lot of really great things, so I think that now is the time Now is the time for me to try it. Oh my goodness, we love a map. So this is one option. I have also had Chaos Walking by Patrick Ness on my bookshelf for like over a year, but I think I'm gonna hold off on this one potentially. And I think I've been looking for an excuse to read this one, so I think we're gonna go ahead and read An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. And the back of it is, Laya is a slave, Elias is a soldier, neither is free. Under the martial empire, defiance is met with death. Laya and her family, sorry if I'm saying this wrong, I assume it's Laya, it's Laia. Laya and her family do not challenge the empire. They've seen what happens to those who do. But when Laya's brother is arrested for treason, she is forced to make a decision. In exchange for help from rebels who promise to rescue her brother, she will risk her life to spy for them from within the empire's greatest military academy. There, Laya meets Elias, the school's finest soldier, and secretly, its most unwilling. He and Laya will soon realize that their destinies are intertwined and their choices will change the fate of the empire itself. This is like a 4-book series, it looks like. So I'm really excited about this. This looks really good. So book number 2, An Ember in the Ashes. All right, book number 3. Do this one. Okay. Oh, a nonfiction. So let's see here. I'm going to carry over. I've been reading Practicing the Way by John Mark Comer, and I really want to finish that. So I'm going to use that as my nonfiction book for this month. Let me go grab that so that I can show it to you. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do Practicing the Way by John Mark Comer. This is a spiritual living, spiritual growth, Christian living book. And I'm partway through it. I had this on my January TBR too, but I did not finish it. Just because when I'm reading books like this, I want to like take the time to really dive into it. And I just was having a hard time fitting this in with all of the other 8 books in January. Like I read The Fellowship of the Ring in January and that took me so long. So I think that I can like dedicate some time to actually reading this book this month. And so we're gonna use this as our nonfiction book for the month of March. So book number 3, Practicing the Way by John Mark Comer. Let's do book number 4. Here's one. Okay. A book with an odd number of pages. I really want to read The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. I've heard a lot about this. Let me see how many pages it is. I really like Adrienne Young's writing. It is 315 pages. Here, I'll give you the proof. There it is, 315 pages. Because I really want to read this, we're not even going to pick another option because I've been wanting to read this for a while. This is a magical realism, adult fiction. I love Adrienne Young's writing. I read a book by her last month, her newest release, which was, I'm blanking on it right now, but I read her newest release last month. And I absolutely loved that. She really knows how to draw you in. I've also read Fable, which is a YA book that she wrote as well. Fable and Namesake. Also, this is really funny. I have found that I love Stephanie Garber and Stephanie Garber's writing. She wrote Caravel and Once Upon a Broken Heart. And so anytime that Stephanie Garber has a little blurb on the back of the book, I'm like, yes, okay, she liked it. So I think I'll like it. I've heard a lot of really good things. People have been like obsessed with this book. I'm excited about getting to this one. And I know I said excited like 10 million times, but yay! Book number 5. Oh goodness, there we go. A book turned into a movie. That is book number 5. So, Chaos Walking has been turned into a movie, so we could consider this one. Let me look at my Kindle app as well. I don't see anything else on here. Oh, The Fault in Our Stars has also been turned into a movie, but I can already tell you that I am not in the mood for this right now, so maybe I'll like trade it out. But for right now, I'm not gonna do that one. I could do Emma or Safe Haven. I'm not really feeling those ones either. Okay. Yeah, I think we're just gonna pick The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. So this is a sci-fi book. It is, Chaos Walking is actually the name of the series. The first book, which is this one, is called The Knife of Never Letting Go. And in Prenticetown, it says, Prenticetown isn't like other towns. Everyone can hear everyone's thoughts in an overwhelming, never-ending stream of noise. But in a town where privacy is impossible, there's a secret so awful that Todd, still a month shy of being a man, must run for his life. But how do you escape when your pursuers can hear your every thought? This one's been sitting on my shelf for a while. This is another one. I think I've had it almost as long as I've had An Ember in the Ashes. I have a couple of thick books on here this month. So we're going to go ahead and read The Knife of Never Letting Go as book number 5 on the March TBR. All right, last book. Oh, this one's already like open. Okay. Oh no. Okay. A book by an author that has written more than 10 books. So I think that now is the time. Do I start a Brandon Sanderson book? I'm so scared. Brandon Sanderson is like, I don't know, he just writes so many books. That just seems like a lot. I think we are gonna have to go with Brandon Sanderson, but rather, this book is very intimidating to me. I have heard a lot about this series and I am stressed about it. So I think rather than reading this one, I'm going to read Tress of the Emerald Sea, which is one of his secret projects books that he actually wrote for his wife, which is really sweet. And it's about this girl who is on this island, and I don't know that much about it, but it looks really cute. So I think Tress of the Emerald Sea is what we're gonna go with for book number 6. That concludes the picking of our March TBR. I am really excited. We've got some awesome books for this month. We've got Heartless Hunter, An Ember in the Ashes, Practicing the Way, The Unmaking of June Farrow, The Knife of Never Letting Go, and Tress of the Emerald Sea. So if you have read these books or are just excited to see what these books are about or anything like that, or if there are any books that you're like, I want to see you read this book specifically, let me know. I'd love to hear any recommendations you guys have to put on my TBR. I hope that you have a great day, night, week, whatever it is you're doing. I hope you're having a fantastic time, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.